the truth of the matter is 72 hours came and went, and I didn't have hunger or thirst. And it blew my mind.
Yeah. Absolutely adorable. But this video really is about pranism, and you have created your first festival, put together this first festival here in San Francisco in August. Maybe this will happen again, we don't know yet, but you have created this center, you have this wellness center here, you're a doctor, Chinese, you studied Chinese medicine, I guess, and acupuncture, and I really want to speak about pranism because I've been going around the world interviewing those people about this topic, and I'm getting it, I'm starting to understand it and be even interested by this topic. You're a Harvard graduate, so this is from Harvard to pranism. This seems to be a big yeah.
Did an applied math degree, and I was a competitive athlete for many years, and in some ways, a very 3D oriented person. And it was during Chinese medicine school in Qigong class that I had my first, to my shock and surprise, my very first awakening experience where suddenly I bursted into trillions of pieces of love and light. And I had no reference point for what was happening. And when I finally came back into the physical dimension, I didn't know what just happened to me. I just felt that was so blissful that I knew that was my natural state. But how do you reconcile that with the physical dimension of life when I had deadlines and bills to pay? We have pressures of life and work and mortgages and the drama of our relationships and so on. Maybe many of us different pressures from our family dynamics. How do you reconcile that heaven with the earth?
Yeah.
Well, it turned me into a seeker. I didn't have the answers. I had a lot of questions. Some people might say that that's an awakening or enlightenment experience. For me, it just made me kind of confused about life. I knew that was possible, but I also knew that maybe there was a way that we could live in that state, but it be in the physical dimension also. Was it February 2012? I met Akai and Camilla. After seeing them on the internet, I was able to experience for direct and in person the 8-day process of Akai.
And you can check, I've interviewed them also on Skype, so you can look at that little video. If you search their name and my name, you'll find it on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you've done a lot of other videos. Yeah.
Yeah, so I discovered that Akai was offering an 8-day process, an 8-day retreat where you experience powerful breathwork techniques, and there was a recommended template of juicing and fasting. I had no interest whatsoever in not eating, but I was really deeply interested. I had been studying Qigong for years at that point, and yoga and pranayama and different healing modalities, and I had started synthesizing all my favorite wellness tools to share with my community also as a Chinese doctor and leading workshops and retreats. So I just thought this is another really potent piece that I need to integrate into my toolkit that was ever growing at this point. So it was just this divine gift. I ended up doing the 8-day retreat in person with Akai, and but I will.
Even dangerous for some.
Yeah, because I have a medical training that says if you don't drink water for 3 or 4 days, you could die. That's the limit that I was told and I was taught and I believed in. But to my surprise, I just took it one moment at a time. I did the breathing sessions, and they were profoundly beautiful and healing. And in that state, I did notice, first of all, I'm an athlete. I do a lot of training, and I was competitive athlete at university. I was a competitive triathlete for many years, and I was shocked at how profoundly energized and juicy and kind of like fortified I felt by the breathing sessions.
Even here, that's your experience, but that doesn't mean, you really have to do your homework before getting into this.
Yeah, so to my surprise, as I was experiencing these breathing sessions, I noticed that I didn't have hunger or thirst. And so I thought, okay, I just take it one moment at a time. I'm not hungry or thirsty, so I don't eat or drink right now, but maybe if I go another day, I'm going to get really thirsty. And and of course, I love my body. I'm devoted my life to holistic health, and I'm going to do whatever it is to keep it healthy. But the truth of the matter is 72 hours came and went, and I didn't have hunger or thirst. And it blew my mind. Yeah, so many dimensions to that, but most of all that I was told something was impossible, and here I was proving to myself with my own direct experience that that's not true. That the medical textbooks lied to us about what is possible for the human physiology. There's one specific breathing session that Akai shares that is for reprogramming uncomfortable memories that we hold in our physiology, in our neurocellular network. And there was this particular session in the middle of those dry fasting days, and I was blowing my own mind, no food, no water, and just feeling great. And suddenly we're doing this breathing session, and this memory pops up of my childhood that was very uncomfortable. So people say all kinds of things that they don't mean when they're angry. But as a 9-year-old child, I took that into my cells, and that became my belief. And in that moment, I relived that memory, and all this hunger pangs came up. All of a sudden, 1 moment ago, I was not hungry. The next moment, I remember that memory, and pff, I was so hungry, insatiable, like I could eat a whole grocery stores of potato chips. But I was under a tree, breathing with beautiful Akai, who's guiding me and saying, and now just breathe. And you know, I won't go into all the specific details of the breathing sessions. It was a precise sequence that he guides you through with the breathing and the visualization technique, and ultimately dissolving that memory and replacing that with a happy memory. I could go quite a few days without even a drop of water and feel great. And so I don't recommend people just randomly try this at home, but it was something that planted a seed of possibilities for me. Like, what else do I not know about my own physiology? You know, if I can create a really loving, supportive environment to explore those edges of possibilities, it really was a profoundly empowering experience for me.
Many different techniques that I share, ones that are more complex, others that are more easy. For example, one that I shared many years ago in a video on YouTube is called the 21 Breaths of Joy. And that is what it does. It takes us to a beautiful state of joy after 21 easy breaths. So we do first 7 breathings through the nose, then 7 breathings in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then 7 breaths in and out through the mouth. But because we are giving enough focus to the prana for 21 breaths is a lot of information for a human body, because for 21 breaths you are completely focused on the prana, so the prana can travel through your body and just make you feel so good, and is automatically like a uplifting state, a centeredness, a feeling of connection, a feeling of joy that manifests just by focusing on prana for a certain amount of time. There are other techniques that are to increase even more the amount of energy. For example, we can do 10 fast breathings, like 10 fast inhalations through the nose, like, and then exhaling naturally. If we do this 10 times and we repeat this sequence 3 times, that will be 30 breathings this way. This is a lot of energy for the body. The body right away feels enhanced, it feels full of energy. There is another technique also that is only through the mouth. So we just open our mouth and throat, and we allow ourselves to create a bigger conduit to receive bigger quantities of energy. And we breathe like this. And then we start to accelerate. And we can also allow ourselves to stop breathing for a few seconds, to feel how, as we stop breathing, the universe has the chance to breathe us and to inhale and exhale us as spirits. And in that moment, we reconnect fully with the universe. We become the breath of the universe. We synchronize with everything that it breathes. And that is so beautiful. It's like a very beautiful state, blissful.